Hello everybody and welcome back again. In this video we're going to follow up on the previous one about our collective consciousness soul agreements. We're going to take it now a little bit further. We're going to look at what we have given the title, humanity has given the titles, indigos, rainbow children, emerald children, Star children. Oh, aren't they wonderful names?
Emerald.
Yeah, aren't they wonderful names? And if you feel them, you can feel a sense of impending beauty, impending love. Because these children have come in and they're here now, they're definitely, and many of them are around the age of 20 to 30 right now. And of course there are children a lot younger than that, certainly the emerald children, one of the most recent waves of births. They're coming in with energies that we've had to work hard to remember, to discover, to balance. But these children are coming in now to fulfill tasks, and certainly those around the age of 20, we're seeing a heck of a lot of them starting to awaken to their purpose, starting to remember, starting to resist, if you will, old religious dogmas, old belief systems, old programming. They're waking up to their true potential. They're starting to remember why they incarnated now in this time. And we just talked, for instance, about governments. How these children, if you will, through their own essence of being, their own beauty, their own light, their own love, their own understanding, their own remembering, these are the children, if you will, that are stepping into the roles that are going to be running our governments in our new world. And they will make sure that it's not about greed anymore. It's not about finances and who can earn the most, which companies can be the biggest, and chasing after the mighty dollar. It's not going to be about that, no, because these children, they will want to make sure that war no longer exists. They're going to make sure that lack and hunger no longer exist. These kids have a passion. Talk to them and they'll be able to tell you, even if they're not consciously awakened yet, they'll be able to tell you, that they'll be able to share with you their emotions. We had it just yesterday evening.
Yes.
While we were sat on a terrace drinking a cup of coffee, having a glass of water, enjoying ourselves, just relaxing. And there was one of these younger, well, we call them kids because for us old fogies, they're kids. And one of them just came out and she hadn't been there before, and unfortunately she missed the step and she fell lung out on her nose. And of course we were a little bit shocked, a little bit surprised, concerned. And she, of course, she was a little bit embarrassed and she went to her friends that were just a little bit further up. And she came back in. I asked her, I hope you didn't hurt yourself. Well, no, I got a little bit of a graze, a little bit of scratch, a little bit of a knock. And because of the way that we live now, we live from the second principle from James Redfield, our truth. We live our truth of who and what we are. We have the gift of energy, to allow the energy of the divine source, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it, we allow it to flow through us. And we said, well, maybe we can help alleviate the pain for you. And the young girl was immediately curious.
Oh, yes.
She immediately sat down, although she's never ever felt it before. I think a young girl about 19, 20 years old, something like that.
She was a nurse.
A young nurse, indeed, stepping into a profession that certainly is going to change through the next year or so. And she just allowed me to put my hands, about 5 centimetres, 10 centimetres above her knee, and just to let the energy flow.
And she felt the energy.
And not only did she feel the energy, eventually it was getting just so hot that she was going, well, that was absolutely wonderful, thank you. And yes, the pain's gone. I don't know how you did that. I don't know what you did. And I said, I don't either, and I don't need to know. I do know a little bit, of course.
Yeah.
But you see, this young soul, this young being, she was so excited about what she just experienced. And then, of course, there were others of this group of kids, 20 to 25, they start started moving around us, joining us, listening to us. One had a mother that had done Reiki, so he'd encouraged her, oh, if that's what I think it is, you want to go sit down, you want to let him do it. And of course she trusted that because he was a friend. And she felt a lot better afterwards. And then some really, really amazing discussions started taking place.
And they feel the most beautiful experience I had yesterday is that these people feel who you are you in truth or not?
In truth or not, yes, yes. Whether you're in integrity.
Yes, and just like a sponge.
Yes, yes, yes. So, we perhaps, if we may, we'd suggest that you, having listened to this video about these special children, you have these gifts too. You're probably working with the energies. Maybe you've done Reiki, maybe you've done Shambhala NDH, maybe you've done one of the other modalities.
And listen to them.
Oh yeah, listen to them,
listen,
absolutely.
Not only with your mind, but with your heart. So we can help these young people to build heaven on earth.
To open up to their purpose here. Yeah. Because they were like sponges yesterday evening. So why we're telling you this and why we're sharing this particular example with you is because you with your gifts, you with your own divine truth, you with your experiences, in your integrity from your heart, these children know that. They know it automatically. Please do not exaggerate. Please do not bend the truth. Please be exactly in your authenticity. Because if you're not, they'll know and they'll see right through you and they won't trust you. So be exactly who you are. Tell it exactly as it was. Share with them your experiences and you will assist them to awaken to their true potential because they are so curious, so hungry to know. These children are all around us right now. And parents of the younger children, the very young ones, already we're hearing you say, my child is special. Well, you better believe your child is special. They have come here not only to teach you, but teach humanity what love is. And if you're not in truth with that child, oh boy, they will play up and they'll give you a hard time. So these kids can see right through you. So learn to be in communication and in love with these younger children. Because otherwise you're going to have a lot of problems. And they're going to be bad.
The child too.
The child too, yeah, too. A lot of the kids at the moment have been labelled with ADHD. Oh my goodness. Autism, yeah. Goodness, there's a great deal of names bouncing around out there. You know what that is, folks? That's psychiatry that are inventing names because they can't solve it. Because they're not looking to the way to be able to provide a solution. And it's all getting out of balance, and that's got to happen too, so that we start to wake up and say, we're not accepting these BS drugs anymore. Because these BS drugs are causing more damage than good for these children. And these children are starting to reach out and shout out and scream out, no more! So, listen to them.
Listen with your heart.
Listen with your heart, and find different ways. For goodness sake, follow courses like this or other courses and do some research on the internet. Because these kids, these younger kids, are really starting to shout out for different attention. And they're screaming out for love. So you listening to this now can make a difference in this level of the conscious agreement that we all made, the collective agreement that we all made when we came in, and these children too. And it's time that we start to realize that the old ways of parenting, oh boy, I remember when I was a child and how I was brought up. Well, we're not going into that, but seeing now the opportunity and the possibility that we have, as if you will, grandparents, new parents, as we're giving this information on and through to others, they're starting to realize that the old ways of parenting are just not working anymore. Because these kids will not allow it. So do your research. find information and be willing to make changes in your own family. Be willing to help these children. And we can look into the camera now and make you a promise. If you do, you'll have a completely different child at home. A completely different energy. Once you start to communicate with them, because these are all old souls. Inside of them, they know. And when you start to open them up in truth, in communication, in love, they will answer. Because you'll be lifting them up and they'll be lifting you up. Wow.
Wow.
What wonderful times we live in, really.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, folks, we hope that this has expanded your consciousness, your feeling of how the world is and how it can be. This is also a gift from us in this course. We hope you enjoyed it. Thank you.
Thank you. Namaste.
Namaste.